Okay, what does estimating mean in math? What is estimating? Megan? Guessing? Anybody want to build on that? Okay, so guessing. Is it just a random guess? If I say estimate what? Ooh, hello. If I say estimate 9 plus 6, and I write 250.
Whoa!
I'm smart. I guessed. Is that a good estimate?
No.
Why not? Why not? It told me to estimate, and I estimated at 250. Why are you telling me I'm not good? I did what I was told to do.
But you went.
Deepa?
That when you estimate, you're supposed to think and see what.
I thought. You saying I didn't think? I gave you a number. I didn't say ice cream. Jaden?
You want to think about it and guess the number that the closest 10 is.
Guess the number that the closest to 10 is. Huh. So like this would be like 10, and this would be like 10, and 10 and 10 only makes, 20?
No. Yes.
So like that?
Close.
Is that what I'm supposed to do in math when I estimate?
Oh, you're trying to make us.
I guess that's way far off, isn't it?
Yes.
So what do I need to add to the word guessing to make it make sense? Amanda?
You need to put it not too high, not too low.
Okay. So I need to think about my guess?
Yes.
Do I need to use the information I am given?
Yes.
Use what I know. Use what I know. And maybe I need to round. Nearest 10. We're going to learn, you're right. We're going to learn how to round, just in case, to tens and to hundreds. Okay? So I'm going to do some demonstrating for you.
Why did you just take a picture? Whoa.
Why did I just take a picture? Because I messed up. Again. So if I have to estimate, what am I going to do? What numbers am I going to use, Logan, if I have to estimate this?
The biggest number.
101? And then what? The answer is 101? Oh, there's more to it? So what am I going to do? How am I going to find the answer? Please stop playing with pencils, those of you that aren't paying attention. Byron, what am I going to do?
You add the biggest number in a book.
This?
Yeah.
To what?
90.
To 90?
Yeah.
So I make it 90 and 100?
150.
So I'm doing that. That's estimating. Do you know your textbook has a special name for that? Your textbook has a special name for that. Your textbook is going to call it this. Front. Help if I could spell. Front end estimation. It's the FEE. It's not the BFF. It's the FEE. FEE. Front end estimation. I start at the front and I only look at the front numbers to find the answer. Is there a different way to find the answer? Is there a different way? Shaylee.
Since there's like a 0 and
Oh, okay. Yes. Let me try some different numbers then. Let's try this one. Maybe it's confusing because I put, if I do that, does it work as well? If I do this, what happens? If I go back to Byron's strategy, I would look at the 9 and the 1. And I would say that 90 plus 100 is 190. Is that the best possible estimate? Ethan, is that the best possible estimate? Why? Mm-hmm. And what's the problem with that here? Brett, keep still. You can't see around your head when you bounce.
30 is not very close to 90.
30 isn't close to 90? Okay. Or do you mean that I need to think about both of those? Would that give me a better estimate? What do you guys think? If I looked at those numbers, the 90 and 130, would that give me a better estimate, Julia? Would you like to ask a friend for some help? Who was watching? Is this going to give me a better estimate, Bryn?
Yes,
Why?
because you added the 30 to the 90, so
Okay.
then it'd make a closer guess.
Okay. So if I add the 30 and the 90 and the 100, I'm going to come up with 220, right? 190 and 30 more, 200, 210, 220. Okay? We can also do rounding, right? So I can round. Let's put it on the next page. So I had 94 and 131. I can round. I'm going to round to the nearest 10. If I round to the nearest 10, what does 94 become? How do I round? Do you remember how to round? Laura, do you remember how to round? No? Jaden, you remember? Can you tell me?
94, it becomes 90.
Why?
Because 4, it's not closer to 100 because it's below 5, so it's gonna be 90.
Yeah, he remembers how to round. Great job, your teacher did. 5 is in the middle. 0 is down here. 9 is up here. Because the next one would be the 10, so we wouldn't need to round. So anything up here goes upwards, right? So if it was 95, we would round it to 100. If it was 96 or 97 or 98 or 99, I would round it to 100. Anything down here is coming back down to that closest 0, to the 0 before. So if it was 90, 91, 92, 93, or 94, it's going to round down. I'm just going to leave a 0 in the place. So it's going to go to that 0. So if this was 90 on the top and this was 100 over here, those ones jump up to 100, these ones jump down to 90. That's rounding to the closest 10. If I follow those rules, what is this one going to? What is 131 going to? Aryan, where does 131 fit? Does it fit smaller than 5 or past the 5?
Past 5.
A 1 is past 5? So where does it fit? Does it fit on this side? Does it fit on this side over here? Or does it fit on this side over here? The left? This side? Okay. So what is 131 going to be if I have a 0 here? Is it going to be 130 or 140?
130.
Very good. 130 because it's going to the bottom 10. Does that make sense to everybody? Logan, you're not watching. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes. So again, we're going to add them up. And we're going to get 220. Now, there's another thing you can do when you get to bigger numbers. So you can be told to round it to the nearest 100. And when you round it to the nearest 100, you have to look at the tens place instead. These rules you must learn. When you want to round up or down to the nearest 100, you have to look at this digit in the tens. When I want to round to the nearest 10, I looked at ones to try and decide which 10 I'm jumping to. When I want to decide which 100 I'm going to jump to, I have to look at the tens. So 9, is it in the 5 to 9 section or is it in the 0 to 5 section? Brooklyn? Is a 9 in the 5 to 9 or the 0 to 5?
5 to 9.
Okay, so it's going to go up. What's the next 10? What's the closest 100 to 94? Is it 100 or is it 0?
100.
Right. So if you've got this big, huge number line, here's 0. There's 100. The 90 and 90 stop goes up way up there. So it becomes 100. 131. Does the 3 live on the 0 to 5 section or the 5 to 9 section? Logan, where does it live?
5 to 9.
30 lives in the 5 to 9. 3 lives in the 5 to 9.
Oh.
Stop banging your feet, please, Jacob. Where does 30 live? Does it live between 0 and 50 or between 50 and 100? Logan, where does it live?
Between 0 and 50.
Between 0 and 50. So, am I going down or am I going up? Going down, right? I have to go down. The rule tells me this is my halfway point. I have to go down. So 131, the closest 100 going down is 100. Because that's the 100 before 130. If it was 180, then I'd be going up to 200. Okay? So 100 plus 100 is 200. These have a different answer because they're using different strategies. When you're learning how to estimate, rounding and estimating, and adding with estimating, which is what you're doing next, you need to know how to do this first, or you won't be able to estimate properly. And you're going to have to choose a strategy to use. So you need to know the different strategies.